Well, you see, that's the whole point, is the word lie needs to be defined.
It's easier for us to do all the petty work of getting it in the account. If we mail the checks up to them, it could be lost in the mail perhaps. It was easier just to put it in an account, then cut them a single check, and they can take the money.
Right, it's a lot easier to do that.
And it's just as simple as that.
Yep.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, sure am.
You embezzler. But anyway, let's just for the sake of a little bit more on the secret banking account that's being advertised across the nation. Here's the next check. And Gary, your signature's on here. Now this one's for December the 12th, 1993. So this is well into accounts open in April, and you're still cutting checks. And there's other checks. We're not going to show them all here, but this has some significance because this is long. This is months later now. This is months later, and you're still writing them checks.
Right. He had called down on a fairly frequent basis and asked for some cash or some money out of our checking accounts, Texas checking accounts. And every now and then we'd have some extra cash and I could send him. What he did with that money, I have no idea.
This is for $1,000.
Well, the point you should make is this is on the Franklin Bank, written to Research and Education Foundation. It's taken up in Pennsylvania and deposited with Robert Morey. Now, how could this be a secret account in Texas when he was getting checks out of it written by the Wessels, and it was going into his bank account in Pennsylvania? There's no way in the world, unless he's an absolute ignoramus, that he wouldn't know that this account was in Texas.
Exactly. Right. And just for one more good measure, we could go on for a while on this, but here's one more check. I find this very interesting because of the fact that you'll see here once we get the camera lined up on it. It's very hard to read in a way, but I don't know if you can quite make it out, but it's made out to REF parentheses PA office.
Pennsylvania
Sign you. It says REF funds. And now let's see where it went. It goes to REF Pennsylvania office, and now look up here. It's signed by David Helmus off to the side. And Bob, just fortunately, you just happened, I couldn't quite make out what bank that was. It was a different bank. It wasn't Bank of Landisburg where this Helmus signed for the Research and Education Foundation. But fortunately, you had some old, let me put this up here. You had an old check that you had made out to the Research and Education Foundation. This top one here. And it was made out, and it was signed by David Helmus. There's a signature right there. But this was a clear one. I could make out the bank. And it says, for deposit only, the Dolphin National Bank. Dolphin National Bank. And I found out that's Dolphin, Pennsylvania. And guess what? I just happened to do a little research. I called up to the Dolphin National Bank in Dolphin, Pennsylvania. And let's take a little listen to what the Dolphin National Bank people told me.
One message. Tuesday, 1:27 p.m. Okay, so I'm now officially recording, so everyone knows this is being recorded. Okay, I was just asking about this bank account for the Research and Education Foundation at Dolphin National Bank. Does that account exist there?
Yes.
Okay.
There is an account listed as that.
Okay.
I don't have any listings as to any type of an account that they would have had, okay?
I got you. Well,
that indicates to me that if whatever they had must have closed down.
Okay. And I just, out of curiosity, how far is Dolphin from Shermansdale? Do you know?
It's across the river, I would say roughly, maybe 10, 15 miles if it's that far.
So it wouldn't take very long to just drive from Shermansdale over to the Dolphin National Bank. Oh, okay. Well, Joanne, you've been very helpful. I really appreciate it.
I'm sorry I can't give you any more information on it, but that's all I have.
That's very good, and I hope you have a wonderful New Year.
You too.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
The Dolphin National Bank, David Helmus, he's just another bank account for Morey and his organization. And just a hop, skip, and a jump just over the river, I get you're not going to Grandma's house, though, but I think they may be going to Morey's at Shermansdale. So, you know, I don't know we can conclude. Oh, well, Bob, I guess you concluded already for us about this secret bank account.
Well, it's only a secret in the minds of these people that receive this propaganda and accept what Morey says in here. I mean, to them, it's a secret bank account. It's not secret to Morey. It wasn't secret to y'all. It wasn't secret to Helmus. It wasn't secret to anybody else up there in the Pennsylvania REF. They all knew all about it. So the only place this secret bank account exists is in the minds of people who are deceived by this propaganda that Morey sent out all over the country, in which he called it a secret bank account.
Now, as we left off before we went into this detail on the secret bank accounts, I was going through this overwhelming evidence that EM&R had sent out on Morey's behalf to other individuals. They won't send it to us, but they'll send it to others. But look, I just now noticed, look what was part of the overwhelming evidence. This is the secret bank account signature card where Morey claims I'm the signer, and of course this is what we've already seen. This is sent out as evidence of our embezzlement. The signee card that has Gary's name on it twice. See, Gary, I bet you never knew that you were a crook just because you signed a signature card.
No, that's right.
But anyway, this is sent out by EM&R. It's got their official emblems or names up there at the top of the fact sheet. Now let's go on to the next page. Here's more overwhelming evidence of our embezzlement. And this is very interesting. Let me line it up on the camera. This is a deposit slip into that Franklin account. It's a deposit slip of $3,200 is being deposited, not withdrawn, but deposited. And down here in some very familiar looking handwriting that I've seen in many places, it says check number 37806 for $3,200 diverted to secret account. Now this is Morey's handwriting.
Yeah.
And he is claiming that this deposit slip, see it says deposit ticket, is money being diverted into this secret bank account. He says it himself in his own handwriting. And this is evidence of embezzlement. Okay, overwhelming, by the way. And then, of course, here is something we've talked about quite a bit. This is where, as I've explained already, $3,000 was taken out of that account on that date, May the 12th, 1994, as I explained before, put into the REF petty cash account, awaiting resolution of the debt problem that had occurred. And so we all know that $3,000 ended up on the agreement of the parties. Everyone knew where it was from day one. And but this is claimed to be embezzlement and theft and all that type of stuff.
Larry, back to that $3,200. What was the date on that?
The date on this was 9/4/93, September the 4th, 93.
Now, that was how long after you wrote Morey the first check out of that account?
I wrote it back in April
5th, the very day you opened it.
Right.
April 5th, 93.
Okay, from April to September?
Right.
And Morey got the first check ever written out of that account.
That's right.
And now, when you're depositing money into that account, Morey is saying this was a secret account.
Right.
Now, what made him change his mind all this period that back here in April it wasn't secret because he wrote him a check out of it and he deposited it in his bank in Pennsylvania. Now all of a sudden it's a secret account back here. Wasn't this written actually in 1995?
Well, yeah, this was written sometime probably last year.
So he just pulled that out at random and saw a big amount of money on there and says, hey, this is a good thing to tack on to my story here. So he just writes that on there, knowing full well all the time that he'd gotten the first check ever written out of that
And in fact, we already showed a check written after this date.
Yeah.
Where he got money after this date out of that account.
And so it's all just a farce. I mean, it's just a complete fraudulent, and I might say a very stupid one and not very intelligent at that.